Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Straight Line Motorsports Mazda MX5 Cup Championship here around number 22 at the Nürburgring GP. I'm your host and commentator for today's race, SLM RDZ, and we have just concluded race number 1 of the weekend. So the third to last race of the season here at the Nürburgring GP circuit. We just concluded race 1 of the weekend, which was obviously won by the number 7 of James Head, who also in turn takes the championship lead thus far with only about 3 races left to go. So he's done the championship charge. And so Elliot's saying we do have a slight pause right now for breaks, so we will be back soon. Of course, if that is the case, I might as well take away myself and step away back from the commentator's box. But in the meanwhile, do enjoy some live on board from Hair Razor. So that is a race that's more or less a couple of laps around the Nürburgring circuit, courtesy of the 69 with Hair Razor, who's now the lone and sole Costa Racing Team Mazda, meaning that Doug Barrow unfortunately was having to drop on out in the latter half of the race. So this next race will involve the start of the reverse grid from the last time these guys had finished. So we'll have a couple of the back markers up the field. And so now it is go time once again here for round number 22 at the Nürburgring. And it is, ooh, it looks like it's a change in the order. So, oh yeah, because Barr and Hair Razor did disconnect. So they will get first hits. McGee's get third, Gallaglass in fourth, third, and Palmer gets sixth, fifth, and sixth. And of course, we'll have a couple of more cars as well. So the 5 red lights on, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 red lights. When do they go out is the real big question. And they go off normal start, I would say. So, and it looks like someone got a really good start, and that's in the hands of TGIS, who immediately gets on the back bumper of his teammate Palmer. I should say that probably, yeah, he's going to give his teammate Palmer a push. So a really good start for TGIS for the most part. And so let's see what happens once again. Oh, cones are already flying out everywhere. Actually, as a matter of fact, Doug Barrow's actually got himself back in this race. Holy moly, when did Doug Barrow come back into this race? That is amazing stuff from the 13. That is amazing stuff. Always really do hope he's feeling better, but that's amazing on the fact that he was having a headache, you know, migraine for the most part. He was actually able to get back into this race. That's amazing news for himself. Right, and so he's having a battle now with former championship leader SM Howard. If you did not make round number 21, that's because the man in 10th place, James Head, has taken the championship lead away from SLM Polymer. So James Head now on the back bumper of Palmer, and he's going to try and stay close to him if he can, just to kind of try and get a bit of a pressure point on Palmer's 24. Ryrot gonna try and block off James Head, but James Head saying no, I'm going to force my way on through, and that means James Head's going to go up in the 9th and Ryrot in 10th. Go up to the front of the field now. Word is at the moment Hair Razor TGIS 1-2. Not teammates in any way, but of course they're first and second, occupying and And so it looks like James and McGeady's are having a battle of their own. McGeady's going to fall down to 10th place ahead of Galaglas for 11th. Oh, just tight, close racing here for a lot of these guys for the most part. Once again, Hair Razor TGI is putting up a bit of a gap now. Bar 27 actually holding off in 3rd place. So, first half of this race, Durdu going to try and get it up on Elliott. And he's going to lose a position. Actually, he's going to lose 2 positions at the expense of trying to gain one, but instead he loses one to SLM Pulliver and Doug Barrow looking to the inside of the Pro AM GT3 champion, but nothing doing there as of yet. So, for the time being, these guys really going at it. Look at the gap now between 1st and 2nd to 3rd and the rest of the grid right now. It is absolutely TGIS and Hair Razor who are having another battle of their own at Lago Maggiore. And so that battle went to the hands of TGIS for his first win of the season. So now it's going to be Hair Razor and TGIS once again, just really going at it here once again. And I'll tell you what Hair Razor love if he was able to capture his first win of the season this late in the season. And he's doing himself a very good job at keeping TGIS at bay. Just more of a pushing point, more or less, and just trying to keep the number 78 back behind. Elliott has got by the 27 of Bar 27. And so, for now, still very close for a lot of these guys. Oh, TGIS with a dive! Oh, what a dive that was by TGIS. We'll take a look at that once again. I don't think I can change view, which is kind of unfortunate, but look at this dive right here. Oh, he was alongside. Okay, yeah, he was alongside, but he still was able to make the move stick, which is a very good thing for TGIS, because he wants to make sure he can grab out his 3rd win of the season. Man, 3 seasons from TGIS. Wouldn't he love that, of course? And so, Hair Razor still putting on the pressure on the 78, not giving him any bit of breathing room whatsoever, so he's going to still keep the pressure going. More or less, TGIS moves over to the right, try to break up that toe if he can, but he's going to soon move over to the left to cover that inside chicane. He's actually going to move to the racing line. He doesn't think that Hair Razor is close enough to make a move stick. Hair Razor going to stick right behind, more or less. Elliott up into 3rd. And Polliner up into P4. So Polliner has found some bit of breathing room to try and get back in this championship hunt for the lead. Because like I said, the gap coming into this race was about 9 points. Now it's definitely swung in the James Head's favor because James Head won the last race. Palmer was only able to get as high as 5th at last race. So now, and it looks like Elliott was able to get a bit of the gap now between himself and Palmer from behind. As now he looks to have his sights set on the race lead if he's able to get up there. Barnes was really on the jagged edge of how much he can break in that number 27 Mazda. There is James Head in 6th with Ryder. Headache last race. And finished the take the check flag in P8. Hear all those Mazdas going over in the background. So you can definitely hear him, obviously. Is that a battle for 9th place? Yes, it is. So, Durdude having to fight it out with McGeady's. I still don't know how to say that name correctly. Just please correct me if I'm able to. So Bar now holding off James Head for 5th place. There's actually been a contact on the front end of that 27, so has he had his nose in someone's business where he's not supposed to have it anywhere is the real big question. In purple sectors all up the board. Let's see who gets it around. Yeah, look at the amount of green sector times that everyone's having. Elliott and James and TGIS not having anything. So, because I think it's the fact that they're on their slip, they're giving slipstream and they're not receiving any. So, we'll have to wait and see for that. TGIS still leads the way here for round number 22. Hairraiser just shortly behind and not giving any bit of breathing room, like I said, to the guy behind. TGIS and Hairraiser, like I said, still going at it. Hairraiser going to stay behind, not dive of any kind. Let's see the speed that everyone was carrying through that chicane. Let's see this pro strat going through the chicane. You can see it right here. Yeah, look at that strategy right there. I just like to have a bit of fun while I can. So it looks like Palmer has got by Bar 27 for 4th place. Oh, contact between the 27 and 270. That's thrown the 27 off a little bit, so he's going to be on the inside still. But nothing doing there as of yet. James Head, who's behind all of this, is going to have to try and do any way that he can to get by the 270. Ooh, Ryra with a cheeky little dive on the inside. But this quickly goes back to the inside for Bar 27. Ooh, dicey moments there for the 270 and the 27. Sideways moment for the 27. Is it going to be 3 wide for the most part? James Head's going to be up into 5th place, so can he make it work? Wow, look at that. With Ryra and Bar battling it out, it's actually given James Head a chance to overtake for 5th place, and he's done so. So if we're able to take a look at that. Yep, look at that. Getting by, no problem whatsoever. And now he's having to defend from the 270 of Ryra, who's on his back corner panel and is still trying to keep him at bay. As James Head has got him minimized now, the gap now down to Palmer, which is now 2.7 seconds. And if he's able to get back up close to the number 24, wouldn't that be exceptional? Because James Head would certainly keep this championship league going on into the final weekend of the Mazda MX5s in 2 weeks' time. Ryra probably thinking about making a move, and he does make a move as well. So James Head, and then this is going to be instantly James Head's corner for the inside, which he will get back, but it looks like he might be taking a bit too much momentum. So can Ryra get one back on the outside? No, he's going to stick right behind the 270. I still can't even get to look behind. That kind of sucks. So it looks like Doug Barrow and Bar 27 side by side for 7th and 8th. Ryra, ooh, bit of contact there, I'm pretty sure, between the 7 and the 270. But I think for now, James Head, all he can really do is just try and sit and wait this one out. James Head's going to move over to the middle of the racing lot of the track just to try and break up that toe, defend his inside line. Bring his own for turn 1 hard on the brace. Doug Barrow going a bit wide, as a matter of fact, so he's going to lose out of position for Bar 27. 19 minutes to go left in this race. TGIS and Hairraiser still duking it out, but Elliott is on the horizon and is coming. So these guys might have to start pushing it out a little bit. TGIS just trying to break up the toe in any way he can. Ryra setting the fast lap of the race. So he'll get that bonus point for now, unless anyone breaks it in the second half of this race. Excuse me for the yawn, I'm sorry. So as I put my keyboard here, I can just see if I can try and get a bit more leverage going. There's Hairraiser, who still pressures the number 78. Elliott, like I said, just really having to get away from the pack behind to get back up to this pack right here for the race lead. TGI is going to hang to the outside, and then quickly going to get back on the brakes for the turn. Still fending it off from Hairraiser, but Hairraiser just needs one little mistake from the 78 to try and see a door open for the race lead. And he knows he has that, and he knows that 64 is coming behind. He'll show the flash of lights just to get a bit of distraction in the rear view mirrors. Hairraiser thinking about making a move to the inside. Oh, it was so much weaving to the point where I thought he was going to make that move, but it doesn't look like it. Never mind, he's actually going to get it. He's actually going to get it. And Hairraiser going to get back up into the lead of this race. So we'll take a look at this. So let's see how Hairraiser is taken about for it. It's moving a bit side by side. Didn't look as much dramatic as we thought it would. But what a move. Oh, big 10 slapper for TGIS. That's what the major point of it was. So, and Elliott right now on the outside of Hairraiser, and he's going to try and stick it up. Elliott, is he going to try and force one at the inside? Can he make it work? Oh, their doors side by side. He's actually forced TGIS a bit wide. So he's had to let off to let that 78 back on the road. Oh, bit of a contact between these two. Elliott going to try and force up the inside. He's done it. He's taken the race lead. But he's got to get a bit of race room to TGIS, and he does so. Elliott with now the fast lap of the race. He's going to spoil this party in any way that he can. Because like I said, Elliott is going to try in any way, shape, or possible. Flag smoke there on my end once again. TGIS to the inside to defend that inside line. Oh, the switch back by Elliott. But is it going to be enough for TGIS to cover it off? Coming up to the Schumacher S's. You can take this corner too wide, but I think Elliott might have slightly backed out of that one, or if TGIS got a good run. So, of course, these guys just, like I said, really not giving each other an inch of room, and this is allowing SLM Palmer to just really get on the back foot of these guys. So it looks like Palmer or TGIS might get a bit of an assistance from his teammate. Palmer did say he wants things going his way a bit more than anticipated. And it looks like James has finally gotten by the number 13 of Doug Barrow. Ryross still in 7th as Bar 27 is only in 8th place, so Elliott looking to try and grab a couple bonus points for that fastest lap in the race. TGIS still defending hard from Elliott with just about under 14.5 minutes to go, so halfway already through this race. Coming to the end of lap number 6. It's going to be lap number 7 now as we speak. And so, what can TGIS do? Elliott's going to try the further back on dive, but nothing doing there. So TGIS still leading the way from Elliott. Elliott still in hot pursuit. Gilmore now with the 64. Like I said, really on the jagged edge of how much he can try and stay close behind. Of course, showing the flash of lights to the number 78. And I think it's going to be the continuous stream, considering how long that is going to be on for. Yep, you can see it right there. Really trying to get the pressure going for the guy up in front. And so nothing doing for Elliott in his chance to try and get the championship for the race lead going. And now it looks like Palmer's going to try and give him a taste of his own medicine as well, as he's not even that far behind this fight for the lead. As TGIS is going to get a bit of an assistance, and it looks like James Head is falling a bit back from this lead pack. Is going to fall back a bit more to Doug Barrow and Ryra. That was a bit of a lag smoke there, but because these lead battles just absolutely intense for the most part. Look at this right out here right now. TGI is going to pull this whole 4 cars down to the pit wall. Now with a switchback. Oh, what a switchback by Elliott for that race lead. TGI is forcing up the outside. Oh, big tight stop there, and he's just kept it, but it's now 3 wide going to turn number 1. Elliott in the mix of that. And TGIS somehow held on to that race lead. I have no idea how. Yep, use the engine braking as your best friend. And he's just somehow kept that on the outside. I have literally zero idea how he's done that. But what a move by TGIS. Elliott's going to be up his inside now for this next left-hander. And now this allows Palmer to literally just close up and get right with this lead battle now. Because Palmer, he needs these points. He needs to get by this group of 3 cars if he wants any chance at reclaiming that championship lead and give James Head a taste of his own medicine, what it feels like to finish in 5th, but for Palmer to finish on the top step of the podium. He absolutely needs to do it if he wants to reclaim his championship lead right here, right now. But at the same time, these guys are fighting it out for the race win here today. Palmer's alongside Hair Razor. He carried 2 wide, but Palmer backed out of that one, so nothing new there for the 24. So Palmer now going to be alongside the 24, or I'm sorry, yeah, the Palmer's going to be alongside the 24. Palmer's going to be alongside his own car. Sorry about that. So we'll go forward now with SLM Palmer as he looks to try and put one up on the 69. Nothing doing there. He's going to break a bit. No, he's actually going to stay where he's put. Try and keep this lead pack going. Elliott has reclaimed the lead. I think that's been the case. I think for like God knows how long. Where's that button? There it is. So TGIS alongside the 64. TGIS going to try and sweep it around the outside. And it looks like he's done so because the gap now is just kind of going up. So he's done himself a good solid job at keeping that race lead. TGIS now back down to the inside. Oh, Elliott, aggressive switchback, but nothing doing there as of yet. Oh, TGIS was hit wide, and I think because of that contact, he's just been given back the lead of this race. So go on board now with TGIS. We'll keep an eye on that miles per hour speed to see if he was actually hit. Elliott looked like he was set to move back, but of course, what an aggressive switchback. It was hit a bit wide, but I don't think it was much enough to do anything. And TGIS, once again, back in the lead of this race. Palmer now gets up into 3rd place, and James Head, Ryra, and Doug Barrow are all with this group of elite cars. So this 4-car battle is now going to turn into a 7-car battle for the lead. And TGIS is the conductor in this train. What a race this is. What a race weekend this has been. With James Head taking the championship lead and TGIS possibly on the heels of a 3rd win, or even SLM Palmer, who could have the potential to get back up into the race lead and swing the championship back in his favor. And so TGIS doing a good job here. Still holding on to that race lead with just over 7 minutes to go. Let's take a look at sector times now. Let's see who's been fast all around. It has been Ryra and James Head. Ryra with that purple sector, and James Head with those 2 green sectors. So these guys absolutely on it here today. Like I said, there is James Head right there. He's 1.8 seconds behind the race leader, but only 2.5 tenths just behind the 69 of Bear Razor. And so Ryra having to defend against Doug Bear right now. I'm not really sure why that's the case. TGI is going to try and get it up on the race leader. Nothing doing there as of yet. And so Palmer now going to try and make a move on Heritage, but at the same time, James Head's going to try and get by for 4th place on his championship rival. And so James Head now back ahead of SLM Palmer, and Palmer now, this is not good for the young superstar who's been super well in this championship, but he can't let it choke. He can't let the pressure get to him now, because James Head, who is a considerably faster driver, Palmer does have the chance to get by the number 24. He's going to try and force it. James Head throws the block. Nothing doing there as of yet. So this battle for the race lead with 5 minutes to go, including 7 cars, is going to be absolutely dicey. And Palmer's been turned around, and a big spin for SLM Palmer. And that is huge news for this championship, because Palmer is only behind, and he's been spun around by Ryra. And that is big news for this championship. Like I said, that is humongous news for the championship, because Palmer is all the way down in 8th place, 12 seconds behind. And so Palmer, next race, is going to need all the luck he can get, because this is going to definitely set him back hard if he wants any chance at the championship. And Ryra was definitely in the mix of that. We'll take a look from his point of view once again, and we'll see what happened there, of course. Yeah, I think, in my opinion, I think he just went up and just threw the, I think he just turned him around, unfortunately. So, yeah, unfortunately, but yeah, I think that's just killed Palmer's race and Ryra's race as well. It's kind of going to allow James Head a chance to extend that new championship lead that he's just gotten. Unfortunate for to see that happen to Palmer, who's done super well this race. And so James Head is going to try anything that he can. Yeah, you have to feel for Palmer in a way, because he's been doing super well this race. And unfortunately, I think it just came all toppling down. Palmer just had an incident that did not need to happen. And so, if you're Palmer, you have to be thinking to yourself, why does it have to be me? Because I was doing so well in this championship. But despite the spin, you have to give credit to Palmer for the amount of work that he's absolutely had to put in this championship to be where he's at right now. And a chance of the championship, and it's all been spun around and made more difficult for Palmer, and it's just given a chance for James Head to further extend that championship. Elliott and TGIS still lead the way. It'll be this lap and one more. So Elliott's going to start defending on the number 7. We'll have the chance to once again further extend that championship lead. And so how will the number 7 go about to passing the 64, and how will the 64 go about to defending against the 7? Oh, so close indeed for all of these guys. And so James Head getting nowhere as of yet. I was going to say you got on by, but then I said nope, nowhere as of yet. And so these guys will have one more lap to finish the ball out for the weekend. TGIS going to go to the inside. He's been doing an absolutely amazing job here thus far this race. He's had to really push it out for the most part. And so James Head and Elliott really close to one another, but nothing doing as of yet. And give credit to Harris, who's done an absolutely amazing job to get into P4. If he could sneak up on a podium, that would be amazing as well to do. TGIS moving to the inside along the final pit lane. Chevrolet man likes my activity. Yes, I know, I'm quite famous here. So TGIS looking to finish what he started here today. Of course, if you're fans of SLM Palmer, you'd be wishing that this car was the 24 and leading away and hopefully trying to get back into the championship hunt. But I think with the championship finale in about 2 weeks' time, it's going to be incredibly difficult. Palmer's going to need all of the luck in the world that he is going to need going forward in this Mazda MX5 Cup Championship. So it looks like TGIS moving to the inside. Everyone's going to try and follow suit in that slipstream, which pulls these cars together, like I said. It's all going to come down to this is going to be a close finale. Who's going to be the big turning point of this race? We do know that Ryra is one big turning point because of the fact that he's kind of forced Palmer around, and Palmer's down in 9th place. So to make matters worse, he's lost another position as well. So James Head's going to finish in 3rd, provisional for right now, but it's just another setback that Palmer just does not need within this championship hunt. Oh, and Elliott going to throw the switch back. Oh, dive on the inside, possibly turn him around, and James Head's going to scoop on by for the race lead. And James Head is going to grab the lead of this race. There is no way that James Head could have made that stick on the final lap. Elliott tried the dive, TGIS tried defending, and once again, it's going to be a potential race win, but it's going to be musical chairs once again. And when the music stops is when the podium spots are settled. This is good news for James Head, but absolutely disastrous news for SLM Palmer. And so coming through the final corner for one last time, it will be James Head who will once again win at Nürburgring. James Head will also sweep the race weekends here at the Nürburgring. Elliott will hold on for 2nd place, and TGIS will hold on for 3rd place. Hairraiser in 4th. Doug Barrow, what a solid 5th place finish for him. We weren't keeping track of it, but the headache he had, he's did himself very, very well. Dirty with a 6th place finish. Ryra and Barnes 8th and 7th and 8th, and Palmer in 9th place. So he's had an absolutely disastrous race here today, and he's going to need an absolute miracle at this rate if he wants any hope at the championship. But James Head, like I said, once again has just absolutely turned it around on the final lap, and with a last lap pass on TGIS and Elliott, was able to turn a third-place finish and is able to once again sweep the weekend here in the Straight Line Motorsports Mazda MX5 Cup Championship. And so once again, we'll have our race results. Once again, James Head taking another race win, a very unlikely race win, as a matter of fact. Elliott getting another fastest lap of the race. But we'll get our party folks on in here today once again. And wow, what a race that was. So I'll get it up to 6th. In case, and so we'll get our fellow Padres on in. I want to invite SLM Paul. Actually, nah. I wanted to invite Palmer in, but I think we're gonna save that for after the post-race interviews. But wow, that race, it was definitely more chaotic the second time by, because of the fact that the instance that Palmer had, he was hoping for it to go a little bit more his way, but I think unfortunately with just that one incident we saw with Ryra, that means Ryra is going to need an absolute miracle here at the end of this season. So we'll turn our attention now to our podium finishers, and we'll start off with our man in second place. Now we have Elliott, who once again makes another strong podium this time, but this time you're in second place. But at the end of that race, you just couldn't probably hold on for a race win. Tell us about your second place finish, Elliott.
That was nutty, absolutely nutty. It was a good, fair race. Well, for us it was. Looking back at what's happened behind, I think there will be some very stern words. But no, my end, a good race. Coming from, what was it, the second to last row? Coming through the field. First couple of laps was just phenomenal. And then it was just a shame on the last lap where tried to get the move done on Tice, who left the door open. Slight contact. And then Hair Raiser took full advantage, tried to slot it up the inside, and ultimately contact. It was good race.
So a good second place for you once again, Elliott. Of course, was there anything that you could have possibly done differently on that final lap to hopefully try and get the better of TGIS, of course?
Not at all. I tried lap after lap after lap. There's nothing I could do to get past him. That was my only real opportunity that I felt I could have him.
Yeah, maybe into the last chicane.
Yeah, all right, mate, all right.
So, a good day for Elliott once again, and then we'll turn our attention to TGIS, where TGIS, you once again score yourself another podium here today. So, Kimmy, once again, tell us your race and how did it fare out for you?
Well, good. Much overtaking.
Short and sweet Kimi Räikkönen-like responses. I love it. You and Lando Norris make yourselves a great couple together, obviously. So, but once again, TGIS, of course, it looked like a good day for you. You held on to the lead for as long as you can, but I don't think you were able to hold on. I think for the most part. Tell us about your third place finish at the end, and that especially that last lap at the end of that race.
Well, I think me making the way up through the field was quite clean, in my opinion. In the first lap, I was second and running behind Hair Racer, and I overtook Hair Racer. Then I tried to get away, but the slipstream was just too powerful.
And so, once again, TJS, one final question for you before we move on to the race leaders. Of course, you have another strong podium position as well for you. Was there anything you could have possibly done differently at the end of that race?
Well, I think maybe we could have done the corner with Elliott a bit better and cleaner.
It's all about racing, bud. I guess final lap kind of gets a bit hectic, but of course, you did the best that you can for a solid third place. And then,
yeah, in my opinion, it wasn't a racing incident.
Oh yeah.
So So, of course, TGI is getting another podium to his credit, and we'll turn our heads to once again another race sweeping weekend performance here for you, James Head. James Head, once again, you've done yourself very, very well, and you've just swept both races of the weekend as well, and you've absolutely benefited from SLM Polymer's demise in that race. Tell us about your race.
I never thought for one moment I would be in these podium interviews, because the race I've had, the guys will probably back me up on this. I was getting pretty angry out on track.
Yep.
And
understatement.
there might have been a few
That was a big
expletives involved. There might have been a brake check on the straight towards Raya, which I have apologised for in private. But yeah, just capitalising at the right moment, I guess, saw me into the front positions. I think Palmer and Raya incident, it's difficult to say. I think the stewards will have to look at that, of course, because I was right in front of that. I didn't see anything happen. Palmer was lagging at the time, so that might have been a cause. But I'm flabbergasted. I didn't think I'd be here.
For third place, any given point that you possibly would just be like thinking to yourself, "There's no way I'm going to get first place here at this rate."
Going on to the final lap, I didn't think I was going to get first place, and that was the edge of the day. That was the name of the day, really. I think I was on for third. I would have been happy with third, but then I saw Hair Razor make a mistake behind me, and I'm thinking, well, he's just made a mistake. Let's try and get the front two. And obviously Tyson Elliott, knowing how they've aggressively battled in the past and aggressively battled tonight out on track, especially on the last lap, I was in the right place at the right time, and that's all I can really say on that.
And so I do have one more question for you, James Head, as well, before we do close out the stream as well. Of course, going into our season finale, which I have no idea where it is, by the way. I know it's on the Discord, but of course...
Brands Hatch GP.
Brands Hatch. Okay, so we'll go to the Brands Hatch GP circuit for one final time this season. What's your plan and strategy going forward ahead into the season finale of the MX5 Cup Championship?
If I want to ask for it, I'll probably get it, judging by how lucky I've been the last few races. I would ideally want the win, and Palmer to come well down the field for him to be out of the championship picture, which then will mean I can come into the commentary box for the second race.
And so, of course, once again, another strong performance for James Head as well for you. Of course, a very disastrous day once again for Palmer, but of course, he's probably going to need an absolute miracle. We will get championship standings posted as soon as we are able to, and then I will fill you in on the championship standings in 2 weeks' time. Ladies and gentlemen, if you did enjoy today's race, please do leave a like, leave a comment, and if you're so inclined to watch more of these races, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. We will run a Ferrari World Challenge Series, and we will run a Super Formula Series next season as well. So we do have one more race. We do have 2 more weekends of racing. We do have our GT3 finale next week, and then we do have our Mazda finale in 2 weeks' time. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. I'm your host and commentator for today's race, S_RZ, and we'll see you guys next time.